the previous section, we covered a lot of topics. We did cover about pluralism. So we looked at what is pluralism. We looked at what are some of the learned pluralism, transculturalism. We also talked about some of the challenges that are associated with it, like advantages and disadvantages. And then we looked at the goal of pluralistic society. So now in this section, I would want to bring your attention to some of the advantages of culture pluralism, some of the disadvantages, sorry, of culture pluralism, and what are the difficulties and challenges that people are facing when they are coming into a different country. So, what are those kind of challenges that they'll be facing, or people who are working with them? So, they should be very aware of these challenges so they can accommodate them better and work with them better and more effectively. So some of the issues are difficulty with assimilation. And we talked about briefly about assimilation process, how it's difficult, why it becomes more difficult. It is because minority group face prejudice, discrimination, stereotype, unjust law that makes it difficult for people to integrate. A lot of times these issues about immigrants are not being talked about, and we also focus a lot on our own issues that we have within our own country, within our issues regarding race and other cultural issues. But it's important for us to know if we are working in the field in interfaith, if we are working in any kind of organization, we're trying to accommodate Syrian refugees or refugees from other part of the world, then we should understand that there are a lot of issues regarding assimilation. And some of these issues are that from a dominant group they face prejudice, they face discrimination, stereotype, unjust laws, unjust behavior, judgment, which is difficult for people and makes it more difficult because it becomes an obstacle in many cases. And sometimes they have to deal with depression, anxiety, they have to deal with a lot of mental health issues that where they're coming from, or let's say if they're coming from a country there has been a war such as Syria, so there'll be like a lot of issues that they deal, which are more mental health issues and issues regarding healing. So many minority groups have targets of hostility at workplace due to their religious beliefs, due to their culture practices and values. And that's why we are trying to educate people and try to provide this information so we can provide them better assimilation and not be a cause of a problem but a cause of a solution, or become a solution for them. So assimilation for immigrants is a process in which the minority group integrates socially, culturally, politically into a larger or more dominant group, or where they're moving to. The term assimilation usually refers to immigrants migrating to a new land or settling in. So there are various types of assimilation. There could be cultural assimilation, there could be complete assimilation, or there could be immigrant assimilation. So far, what I have talked about previously is about the immigrant issues and immigrant assimilation, but there is a cultural and there's a complete assimilation. So immigrant assimilation usually is based on socioeconomic status, education, attainment, income level, profession, language, ability to speak English, or loss of mother tongue in new generation, and intermarriages cross-culturally and racially. So those are some of the issues that they face, and a lot of times there are various different people that I have worked with in refugee network where they come from a socioeconomic background, and that becomes an obstacle sometimes, like their education, if it's not within it's within their own country in their own language. Like I mentioned earlier, that Syrian refugees that I have worked with were lawyers, and they were very successful lawyers in their country, or dentists or doctors, but when they are coming to United States and they don't have the language, that becomes a huge barrier in their further achievements, or they have to start their education right from the start because they don't have that Arabic. They have the Arabic language, but they don't have the skills, to integrate. They don't have the English language proficiency that they need. So they have to start from ESL. and that would be very difficult process for them. Imagine that you have to restart your life, restart your profession, and you don't know the language of a different country, where you are in. So yeah, those are the kind of problems or challenges sometimes immigrants have to face. So education attainment can become difficult, income level, profession, and then of course language is a huge thing that people don't want to lose, if they're speaking a mother tongue. So the new generation, what happens is as they go further from one generation to the next generation, the language is something that they lose. They suffer because if they don't keep the language alive within their families, then the children of the next generation do not even know. And language carries a culture. So language is not just like mere words is spoken, but it has like a whole psychology that's kind of infused with the certain kind of language. It has culture, it has this psychology of the people they're coming from, the poetry that they talk about, or all those things which may be very difficult to translate into a different language. And I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say here. Intermarriages is another thing because they rather want their people to marry either their own culture, cross culturally, or racially. That becomes difficult or challenge for some of the people. So those are the challenges that immigrants face while they are assimilating. But the other ones which become very, very difficult for them is also cultural assimilation. It's a process by which a person or group come to resemble those of another group. So cultural assimilation is also something that becomes a challenge because a lot of times some people from different countries want to keep their culture intact. They wanted to keep that culture, but at the same time integrate or assimilate into large majority group, and that's what pluralism is. So you will be able to keep your own identity and at the same time be able to assimilate into a larger group. Complete assimilation is different. Complete assimilation occurs when new members of a society become indistinguishable from the members of the other group. So there are some from like a Chinese background or from Muslim background or people who are coming from different countries that they have been in United States for a long period of time, let's say 30 years or generation after generation, and then it's hard to distinguish. It's hard to tell if they are if they are part of this larger dominant group, because their language, their accent, their mannerism, everything is according to the larger dominant group and not according to the the minority group they are coming from.